I don't know. I guess I sort of get frustrated with sort of those ways of thinking. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? The one free speech platform we have in the United States of any meaningful size being attacked around the globe, but constantly. Who gives a shit? Who cares? Who cares? No big deal. Whatever. I. Okay. I mean, I don't mind having a deep dive with it if you want. I mean, I could recommend, for example, Mike Benz. The past couple days, he did a Tucker interview talking about the founder of Telegram being arrested. He's been posting quite frequently about the State Department's involvement with Lula in Brazil, specifically going after Bolsonaro, places like X that were used for Bolsonaro supporters to go after them. He's been predicting that Lula and others in Brazil would eventually go after X and that the State Department was behind that and was allowing it to occur. He talks specifically about how the State Department was pro-free speech going into 2014, 2015 because they were able to use free speech on the internet to have sort of color revolutions around the world. That's why they were for places like social media that were springing up and allowing individuals to talk face to face or person to person on a mass scale. However, they realized with Brexit and then with the election of Donald Trump, that sort of talking face-to-face meant that they didn't have narrative control in their home-based countries like the UK and like the United States. And so ever since then, they pivoted to a strategy of saying that they need to censor disinformation. He actually posts clips of one of the guys that was at NATO saying that the way to fight battles now would be tweets, not tanks. And that was the importance of sort of controlling the flow of information, particularly on places like Twitter, which has emerged, even before Elon Musk bought it, as the premier platform where people were communicating person to person about things like politics. You can see the stories that have broken on Twitter even before Elon Musk bought it, that was things that the mainstream media formerly would have censored. That's why there was such a full court press to censor stories through the Twitter files that you saw with, even the FBI under the Trump administration and then post in the Harris-Biden administration that were pushed to censoring these sorts of things. And this has sort of been the agenda for the people in places like NATO and the United States for the past year since roughly 2016. It's one of the reasons that we saw hostilities and blaming Russia for everything to blame up, which could have contributed to sort of the conflict that we see there. He talks specifically about how they were involved in, because the United States, it's difficult for them to directly attack free speech in places like this. What's easier for them is to work with other countries and NGOs to be able to have those sorts of attacks that occur in these other countries, which will then cause legal troubles and financial troubles for these platforms in places like X that will be detrimental to them and serve as a blueprint for the future for more industrialized countries to be able to do it. And that will set the map eventually for the United States administration to be able to pressure them. Ricky Menzenbaum answers all this by saying, X has two options, comply or say fuck off. Elon will say fuck your face. Right. How long does that last? The guy from Telegram said fuck your face. How'd that work? He's in jail. Good. But you would say, who cares? Who cares about that? Who cares? Who cares that they tried to force him over and over again? Who cares? Who cares that the Atlantic Council was pushing for that? Who cares? He said fuck off. Now he's in prison. Well, I guess he's out on bail and basically on house arrest. Who cares? All right. So, tomorrow night, we'll be doing a show. We'll try to... What's the answer? Well, the answer is to force Republicans to start forcing the weaponization, the government weaponization program, to actually bring in people like Mike Benz to be able to detail specifically how these institutions or these executive agencies have been weaponized against the American people and against people around the world going after free speech. It's to get rhinos out and primary them, the people that defend this sort of stuff, that want to do things like continued people like... what's his name? Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, that complains about this sort of stuff and then funds the FBI to the tunes of billions of dollars. We need to stop funding them. We need to stop funding the State Department, all these institutions that would be able to do these sort of stuff. And we need to start putting sanctions on the countries that are going against free speech, like the UK, Brazil, France, etc. That's the answer. Or we could just take your point and say, who gives a shit? Musk will say fuck off. Right? Can you tell me how that works? Go ahead. What's the answer? Ricky, very similar to just say something. So Ricky's solution is, who cares? Don't even talk about this. Musk will just say fuck off and... Okay, so what's your solution, Ricky? Go ahead. Let's hear your solution. Ricky's about to drop some truth bombs on us. He's going to give a solution to free speech and like the attacks of free speech under the State Department, etc. Go ahead. Here you go. Here comes... This is going to blow our minds. The first part of it we know... Fuck off. Elon Musk will just say, fuck off. Don't talk about it. Got it. Got that part. Okay. Step one, don't talk about these abuses on free speech around the world going after people like Elon Musk or the founder of Telegram. Got it. We got that. That's step one. Elon Musk will just say, fuck off. And then step two is, go ahead. Step two, isolationism. There you go. There's a word that sums everything up. Yep. How do you get to isolationism? Well, the Republican Party has joined the Democratic Party in sending billions of dollars to Ukraine. What are the chances that isolationism occurs? Now, it's something that I argue for all the time, and people like Mike Benz argues for all the time. Part of that isolationism is to prevent the sort of color revolutions and control of free speech that we see from very agencies that are involved in foreign conflicts, foreign affairs, etc., such as the State Department, such as places like the CIA. But you're like, don't even talk about it. Don't even look into that. Don't even look at it. I mean, hilarious. Okay.